Imagine you're a high school student who's totally crazy about a girl, to the point that when you think of her, everything is rosy with flowers and lots of colors, even if it's just in your head, because in reality, she doesn't even know who you are. This is the story of Komura, who is very much in love with his classmate Mie. Even though she's really scatterbrained and says some pretty strange things, all he wants is for her to look at him with her beautiful eyes. But this is going to be a bit difficult because she doesn't have her glasses on. Mie looks really cute, but she can't see a thing. The main character is too nervous to talk to her, so she explains that she forgot them at home, and in order to see, she has to squint her eyes with an annoyed face. Mie asks Komura for help in finding her book, but when he gets close to the backpack, he gets embarrassed, so he just gives her his instead. Mie leans in to share it, but our main guy is way too shy. It's better if she uses it alone. Mie doesn't mind, but Komura looks like he's about to cry because Mie is way too close. This is because she literally can't read. She has to get super close to the book. Komura realizes how close they are and thinks it's a good opportunity to strengthen their bond and connect little by little. For her, it's just forgetting her glasses, but for him, it's a step towards something more. And the main guy keeps thinking about his love story until Mie interrupts him with a question. It's a step towards something more, and the main guy keeps thinking about his love story until Mie interrupts him with a question. And who are you? Komura. Well, thank you, Komura. The main guy is still nervous about what happened in class and can't stop thinking about Mie's eyes. Before heading home, Komura finds Mie at the lockers. She still doesn't have her glasses on, so something's up with her. It seems like her shoes are way too big for her. Mie's shoes are his. She searched for similar ones because they were indeed his. Mie had checked her locker and couldn't find her shoes, so she had to go through them one by one until she found the ones that looked the most similar. But all Komura can think about is her wearing his shoes. Mie will return them, but she asks him to check his locker because there should be another different pair. As far as she remembers, her shoes didn't have anything green on them. It was a little frog. Komura lets the frog go, but Mie still feels a bit grossed out. It doesn't matter. He can still go back home. Wait, you forgot to tie your shoelaces. Mie thanks him for helping her all day, while the main guy tries to focus on his shoelaces. You really helped me a lot today, so I hope you don't forget tomorrow. Mie approaches the main guy to memorize his face so she can thank him another day, but she still can't see anything. That night, Komura thinks about everything that happened and asks the ceiling for Mie to forget her glasses again. And it comes true. Mie stepped on her glasses and broke them. Today is gym class, and Mie doesn't hold up the class, even though it's a bit dangerous because she can't tell friends from foes. The main guy thinks it's because of his curse, so he'll protect her from any danger. The physics class continues. It was after gym class, so everyone is tired, but Mie is very focused on her book, and the main guy will follow her example. The teacher thinks Mie is asleep, so Komura talks to her, and she was indeed asleep. All the effort she put into not wearing her glasses must have left her exhausted. The teacher keeps calling her, and since he can't even touch her to wake her up, he says that Mie forgot her glasses and that he needs to get really close to read. That was close. When Mie gets up, she confuses Komura with her dad and asks him about her glasses. It seems she's still asleep because she gets closer and wants to sleep a little more. This moment is perfect. Mie got closer and I wish it could last forever. No. The next day, Mie also doesn't bring her glasses and approaches the main guy, but this time she can see him because she came with her contact lenses. Mie and Komura are in charge of serving the food, but Mie forgot to bring her glasses and spills the stew. It's not that serious since her glasses had broken, so Komura will help her during the kitchen shift. When he asks her if she wants to switch roles, Mie declines. She can do it, she's confident. Still, Komura tells her to hold back a little and serves just a tiny bit. It's a bit complicated, and more because she's a little hungry and she loves this stew. When she asks the main guy, he prefers curry, but a classmate interrupts him, wanting her to serve him more meat. Mie tells him she can't do that, but she can give him more potatoes, and when she serves him, she ends up giving him all the meat. Finally, the shift is over, and everyone can eat, so Mie hands her plate to the main guy and tells him that she didn't give the other person much meat because she was saving it for him since he likes it, but she asks him not to let anyone know. Still, so everyone has already heard, and when she checks her stew, it's just potatoes. The next day, guess what? Mie forgot her glasses, but this time she brought contact lenses. Although it's traumatic for her because there was a time she couldn't take them off, she still tries to put them on but can't and ends up tearing up. So Komura tells her it's not necessary to wear them because he'll protect her from any danger. He said it a bit too loudly and she thanks him with tears in her eyes, which makes Komura fall for her. Finally, one day she wears the lenses, but she still looks angry. She wants to know why, so she asks him, and and he finds out it's because it's hot and her lenses fog up, which is why she can't see well. One of her classmates has the same problem, and she thinks he's strange because she can't see his eyes. But since he doesn't explain, Mi says she doesn't mind if her lenses fog up as long as he recognizes her. Then she asks him to add her on Line, which is like WhatsApp. When Komura asks why, Mi says it's in case she forgets her glasses somewhere so he can call her. Wouldn't it be better to call a family member? Apparently she's embarrassed, but she doesn't mind the main guy seeing her without her glass, and those words resonate in his head. It's the weekend, and Komura gets a message from Mi asking to meet near the metro. When they meet, Mi explains that she fell asleep on the train, and when she woke up her glasses were gone. It seems she's embarrassed, but she doesn't mind the main guy seeing her without her glasses, and those words resonate in his head. It's the weekend, and Komura gets a message from Mi asking to meet near the metro. When they meet, Mi explains that she fell asleep on the train, and when she woke up, her glasses were gone. She's really scatterbrained, but the main guy is happy to be with her, and Mi takes him by the hand, and when she's about to tell him where they're going, he just freezes up, obviously the main guy. Mi takes him to a cafe for dessert, but can't eat without glasses, so he feeds her. Feeling lucky, he helps her get new glasses. She invites him to stay, and they spend the afternoon together. He feels dreamy afterward. He feels pretty lucky. Then he takes her to an eyewear store because she had ordered some new ones. And since she can see now, the main guy is about to leave, but Mi invites him to stay, and they spend the whole afternoon together. After they say goodbye, the main guy feels like he's in a dream, so he pinches his cheek. On the way home, Mi thanks Komura for accompanying her and realizes she's been looking at him all day. Back at school, Mi is wearing a mask and glasses but can't see anything. Komura gets called over to chat, and Mi notices that another classmate is in the same situation, and they were making fun of him. Not wanting Komura to do the same, she takes off her glasses and says she forgot them. After class, Komura sees Mi making cat sounds and feels tempted to take a picture, but then he realizes she's playing with a trash bag. To make her feel better, he meows and approaches her, but the bag flies away and the main guy gets caught in it. When he gets to class, Komura sees Mi with another guy named Asuma, the most handsome and popular guy in the class, who's helping her look for something in her stuff. They're really close, and the main guy doesn't know what to do and feels very jealous. But when Mi thanks him, she thought it was Komura, but then realizes it's Asuma and feels really embarrassed. Still, the main guy is happy that she keeps thinking of him. On the way to class, like every day, her friends tell her she has that annoyed look again because she forgot her glasses, and Mi tries to cheer up. So when the main guy arrives and sees her, he feels he's transported to another world by her gaze. But Mi didn't see a thing, so she'll keep frowning. The main guy thinks about this all day and will never forget it. The next day, Mi asks him to help her practice a game where you say a word, and the other person has to start their word with the last syllable. But if you end on N, you lose. So, our couple plays, but under pressure. He says Komura's name, leaving him really embarrassed. After class, it's cleaning time, and the main guy stays to clean with me and some other classmates. A cockroach appears near her, and he doesn't want to scare her, so he tells her to come closer slowly. But one of the girls freaks out about the bug, and Mi hugs him tightly. This girl forgot her glasses again, but Komura notices they're on top of her head. As they fall to the ground, Mi adjusts herself to put them on, but Komura thinks she wants a kiss or something. In the end, he just helps her out. Days later, a girl plans to deliver a love letter, but it falls out of her hands. Mi finds it on the ground but doesn't know what it is, so she asks Komura, and he realizes it's for Asuma. Mi goes to his classroom and hands it to him. Everyone thinks it's a love confession, including Asuma, and they all ask Mi if she likes Asuma, to which she replies that she does. The handsome guy from class goes to read the letter somewhere else, and our main guy follows him. He's jealous. The main guy is surprised, but it's clear that Mi might like Asuma. Komura reflects on this, and Mi thinks he's crying, so he asks her what she thinks about Asuma. She admits that she does like him. In fact, she would understand if people asked her more if she liked the main guy because she's grown quite fond of him. Hearing this, Komura calms down. When Asuma comes back with the response, Mi can't read it, so she asks Komura to do it for her. When the main guy reads the content, it says the following: Mi, you like Komura. And Asuma clarifies to all his classmates that Mi was just a messenger. But when she asks what the letter says, the main guy only says that Asuma was thanking her for delivering the message. On a very cold day, Komura sees Mi trying to buy something from the vending machine. She can't see anything because she didn't bring her glasses, but she still wants some chocolate, and our main guy tries to help her. But she insists on doing it alone. At least she knows to buy something hot because it's a different color, and when she tries it, it's really bitter since it's a can of black coffee. Mi offers the coffee to Komura, and it's his chance. It would be like giving her an indirect kiss, but he can't. It's more out of cowardice than anything else. There's no time to hesitate. Komura is running late for school, and on the way, he runs into Mi, who is running desperately disheveled, and without her glasses. When he greets her, Mi doesn't recognize him, so the main guy walks with her just in case. She reaches a traffic light, and Mi's skirt has lifted up. Our main guy alerts her, without being recognized, and Mi thanks him, but murmurs that it's a good thing it's not Komura because she's too disheveled and wouldn't want him to see her like this. The traffic light changes color, but Komura can't move forward because he's too in love. On the way to the nurse's office, our main guy has to help Mi walk since she hurt her knee in gym class because she twisted her ankle. All of this happened just during warm-up, and the worst part is that she broke her glasses. Mi is too close, which embarrasses Komura a bit, but in a low voice, she apologizes in case she's being too heavy. Lately, he uploaded a little bit of weight. When they arrive at the nurse's office, she tells him to lean on something so she can look for a seat. Since she can't see anything, she leans on a scale without realizing it. The truth is, she hardly weighs anything, but she asks him not to tell anyone in the class. She's trying to hang up a sheet of students but can't reach it. Once again, she forgot her glasses and Komura offers to help, even though can't reach it either. Asuma comes over to help and easily sticks the paper up, leaving the main guy feeling useless. Komura is sad because he wants to be taller and Mi doesn't agree. She has the perfect height to see her face up close, and even though she knows she'll grow someday, for now, she's perfect just the way she is. Komura enters the classroom and sees that Mi is crying. Who made her cry? When he asks what happened, Mi tells him that she was reading a book and accidentally thought the kanji were all the same. Instead of reading, she was just reading forest, forest, forest. This made her laugh so much that she ended up in tears. Since that was all it was, our main guy feels more at ease, but he couldn't see Mi laughing and crying, which makes him sad. Still, just a small smile from her is enough for him. She then falls asleep because school is really boring. In geometry class, everyone is looking at a cloud shaped like a heart, and Mi tries too, but without her glasses, it's useless. Komura wants to do something to help her, so he takes a picture to send her later that night. This makes her so happy that the next day she brings her glasses to school, but she loses them. Komura is looking for them when he runs into Someya, who has already found them since they sit together. Someya puts the glasses on Komura to return them, but the fit is so tight that it makes him dizzy and pushes him against the wall. Mi sees all of this. Well, she doesn't see it, she hears it, and she runs to separate Komura from the other girl without any explanation, making the girl feel embarrassed. Normally, Mi usually wears her glasses, and it's a relief for our main guy because he wouldn't be able to handle having Mi so close all the time. This time, he had forgotten his book, and the redhead is very happy to help him, although she just realizes that when they push their desks together, they're very close outside of class. Mi goes to buy some spare glasses since the ones she had before were broken. She asks Komura for help to see which ones look better on her because none of the glasses she tries on fit. Our main guy can't choose and tells her that whether she has glasses or not, she'll always look good. So Mi will pick the ones she likes best, the usual ones. The next day, Mi comes without her glasses because she fell asleep with them on and they broke. Komura goes to the store to buy ketchup, and even though it's really cold, people are getting ready for Valentine's Day. He hopes Mi will give him some chocolate, and the redhead is right next to him. The main guy is surprised because she's quite far from her house and without her glasses, but that doesn't matter since Mi asks him what she should give him. Komura doesn't know how to respond because he's sure that if he does, she'll find out he likes her, and Mi realizes that everything around her is red. She doesn't have her glasses, and for now, she's safe. They go shopping together because Mi needs to get mayonnaise, and the redhead sees a pile of chocolate. She asks what it is, and since he doesn't answer, she also wants to know what she should give him. Komura distracts her with some chocolate samples, and to keep her from noticing, he takes her hand to get out of there. He also grabs a box of chocolates, but then remembers he's holding her hand. That's when Mi discovers everything about Komura and tells him that she'll also give him chocolate and all her friends. So even if it's just friendship, our main guy will receive chocolate. At school, it's February 14th, and Mi is exchanging chocolates with her friend. Komura is a bit anxious, and when it's his turn, Mi hands him nothing. She had run out of chocolate for him. She gets really sad because she promised him chocolate and asks the main guy if he has time after class. Komura thinks this will be a confession. He waits until no one is around, and since Mi hasn't found anything to give him, she tells him she'll do anything for him, our main guy. He's shocked They're completely alone, and if she doesn't try, this is the moment. He stands up and asks her to listen. He takes a breath, thinks about it for a bit, and is about to confess, but he can't. He'll tell her another time. Mi thinks she wants to go to the bathroom, but Komura will tell her when he can look her in the eyes. Mi then promises him that she won't forget her glasses and will wait for him as long as it takes. The redhead finds a small chocolate that she was given and gives it to the main guy, who is sure that next year he will confess his feelings. After Valentine's Day, Mi realizes that she has gained weight. When she goes to school, it's already White Day, and Komura had prepared a sweet treat for her as a thank you, but Mi looks terrible. She didn't take her chocolate in the morning because she ate so many sweets that she gained weight, and she asked Komura for help to stop her in case she eats any kind of candy. Our main guy agrees, and that means he won't be able to give her his gift. At that moment, Suma approaches him with some cookies for White Day. Mi had forgotten. They will give her tons of sweets in return. Komura tells her to hold on a bit, and Mi is going to take a cough drop, but she confuses it with a cookie. Another classmate approaches her and gives her some chocolates. Mi also wants to eat them in front of our main guy, and Komura thinks she's doing it on purpose. She has the cookies so close to her mouth, and they're Komura's cookies. He can't let her eat them, so he takes out his dessert and offers it to Mi, since if she's going to eat something sweet, it's better that it comes from him. Mi thanks him and cries from happiness because the dessert is delicious. After a long time, Mi finally filled her dessert card to get a free one, but she forgot to mail it, and today is her last day. The post office is a bit far, and since she doesn't have her glasses, it will be complicated. Komura offers to accompany her to the post office after class, and Mi is happy, but his friends call him and tell the main guy that they're all going to the new arcade together. Komura wants to go, but he already promised to help Mi, so she turns them down. The redhead had heard everything and tells him that she actually brought her glasses. She has contact lenses and can hang out with her friends without a problem. Obviously, she's lying. And since they're in class, the teacher calls her to read. Everything goes well until she has to read a pretty complicated kanji. To make sure Komura doesn't think she's lying, she coughs and tricks the teacher. It's time to change classrooms, and Mi gets really close to see where it is. Her friends offer to go with her, but Mi wants to show Komura that she can actually see, so she runs alone toward the classroom. Komura protests, a bit worried, and he should be because Mi can't find where the classes will be. It's really hard to be alone and without her glasses, but she has to be strong so that Komura can go with his friends too. At that moment, she runs into him, and the main guy pretends that he also got lost and found her by accident. In that moment, Mi apologizes because she actually didn't bring her glasses. At that moment, she runs into him, and the main guy pretends that he also got lost and found her by accident. At that moment, Mi apologizes because she actually didn't bring her glasses. She lied to him so she could go play with her friends and didn't want to monopolize him all the time. Komura tells her that he has no problem helping her and remembers that there was a store with a mailbox near the school. He walks her close to her house and realizes that he's also monopolizing Mi because since she lives near the school, she could have gone home for her glasses and come back, even though he already helped her and is going to the arcade with his friends. The school year has already ended, and Komura can't believe how fast it went by. Now he's in his third year and feels like this year has been really busy. At least he'll be in the same classroom as Mi again, who is really sleepy because it's quite early and she forgot her glasses. Before the classes start, they will hand out the perfect attendance diploma, where Mi and Komura will be awarded. One of their classmates gets scared because Mi has a grumpy face, and our main guy has to help her relax because if not, everyone will think she's mean and it will be the end of her social life. He first tries some pressure points, but since he's touching Mi's hands, he gets even more nervous. Then the redhead tells him to think of funny things to shake off the nerves. When it's Komura's turn to go up, he's really nervous. He just has to receive the award, but he's shaking like a leaf. He remembers what Mi said and thinks about all the times he forgot his glasses. When it's the redhead's turn, she seems not to care at all. Ever since she fell in love with Mi's beautiful eyes a year ago, now they will start a new class together. As is customary, it's time to change seats, and Komura ends up in the same spot. He's a bit worried about Mi because she sits in front of him. Plus, she needs to sit with someone who can help her, and that person will be Asuma. He sits next to her and Mi asks, "Where's Komura?" The main guy sees her and feels jealous because Asuma is talking to her, but his feelings don't matter as long as she's okay. The problem is that he misread her number, and she was supposed to sit in another seat, so she has to adjust, and now sits next to her friend. The main guy sits next to Hibuchi and notices that Mi can't stop looking at him. He socializes a bit while Mi settles in next to her friend. Hibuchi doesn't feel comfortable, so she goes to Mi's spot and asks to switch places because she can't see well. The redhead agrees, and now she sits next to Komura again. Now she feels calmer because she can distract herself in peace, and also because she'll be able to see him without getting into trouble. In art class, Mi and Komura have to draw each other, but Mi forgot her glasses again. She has to get really close to see what he looks like, and since she can't draw at the same time, she decides to just draw what she imagines in her mind. Komura sees the drawing and wants to put it on the door of his house. She has to get really close to see what he looks like, and since she can't draw at the same time, she decides to just draw what she imagines in her mind. Komura sees the drawing and wants to put it on the door of his house, but the teacher has to take it away from her. Mi feels uneasy with Someya's closeness and later apologizes to Komura. She notices that Someya has really long eyelashes, and she's so close to her that Mi feels a bit uncomfortable. Then she goes back to the classroom and greets Komura as usual, but she realizes he's very close and apologizes, although she'll get over it in a few days. Our protagonist runs back home and is quite agitated. A few hours ago, Mi was in the classroom and forgot her glasses because she went home with her friends. Komura, who happened to be passing by, found them, and since he didn't know what to do, he texted Mi. The redhead told him to please leave them there, but Komura insisted and took them home. His mom thinks he's doing something else, even if it's just homework. He had to take the glasses out of his backpack so they wouldn't break, and he can't stop thinking about Mi being at home. He can't concentrate, so to get rid of those thoughts, he grabs some tissues, looks at the glasses, and no, it's not what you're thinking. He uses them to turn them around so no one stares at him, but while touching them, he feels like he's violating Mi's integrity. Meanwhile, she was very calm at home with her spare glasses. When she cleans them, she remembers that Komura has her glasses and calls him to ask if her lenses were dirty. In fact, the main guy felt so guilty that he ended up cleaning them. Mi tells him that it's like she visited his house and asks him to please take very good care of her glasses. Komura keeps imagining that Mi is there, which doesn't let him sleep well, and he'll have to wait until this Monday to return her glasses. Back in class, Mi approaches Komura to greet him as usual, but this time she slips and falls right into his arms. That Mi is there, which does not let him sleep peacefully, and he will have to wait until Monday to be able to return them. Back in class, Mi approaches Komura to greet him as usual, but this time she slips and falls right into his arms. Mi is really embarrassed and apologizes for what happened, but the main guy is still in shock. The redhead needs to be more careful because it's not the first time she's bumped into someone for getting too close. There was even a time when their lips almost touched. Komura feels a bit embarrassed and Mi immediately tells him it was her dad a long time ago and it won't happen again. She sits in her place and looks pretty nervous, but it's because she doesn't want Komura to think she's a bad girl. A few days later, Mi's hair is a little disheveled. She has to go fix it in the bathroom because she can't see it directly, but since class is about to start, she ran out of time. Komura realizes that her hair is very important to her, and the redhead asks him if there's something weird about her hairstyle. Our main guy tells her that everything is fine, and Mi feels more at ease. The only opinion that matters to him, it's about her dear Komura, who suffers from intense shoulder pain on a rainy day. Mi tells him she can help since her dad can vouch for her amazing massages. The main guy refuses because she would be touching him directly, but he can't say no to Mi's cute face. The massage goes pretty well, and when it's over, the redhead writes it down in her notebook. It's one of the things she can do with him without needing her glasses, although if she has them, she'll do anything for him. In one of their many classes, Komura falls asleep. Mi tries to tell him that the next class is about to start, but he doesn't hear her. Since she has her glasses on, she takes the opportunity to look at him closely. She grabs his hair and then takes his hand and puts it together with hers. Komura wakes up and they are both very embarrassed. Mi tells him she was just taking the chance to look at him up close, and to make up for it, she'll let him look at her as much as he wants. It started to rain again, and Mi forgot her glasses. She has to open her eyes wide to see where she's going, but even so, she falls into a puddle. When they get to the classroom, Mi's shoes and socks are wet, and since they won't be changing classrooms, she asks Komura not to look so she can take off her socks. When she can finally see, she thinks it would be better to just watch the rain. On the way home, Komura sees Mi sitting on the swings. He asks her what's wrong, and she says she's waiting for her mom to come back because she forgot her keys. Since he's there, she asks him to push her on the swing. Komura, a bit embarrassed, does it, and she looks really happy. But the main guy realizes she's wearing a skirt and she's probably showing everything. He stops her immediately, and when she does, their faces are way too close. Komura tells her about the skirt, but Mi shows him that she has shorts underneath. Back in the classroom, snack time is approaching, and a card falls from Komura's spot. Mi bends down to pick it up, and when she she asks what it is, our main guy doesn't want to expose the entire gamer community that spends money on video games using that card. So he tells her it's an apple card. At lunchtime, since Mii remembers that Komura likes apples, she offers him the one she got in her lunch. But our main guy is so touched that he tells her she can keep it. It's 3 in the morning and Komura is sleeping when suddenly he gets a call from Mii, who asks, "Where's the bathroom?" The redhead realizes she got confused, so she hangs up. But she calls back because she needs help, since it turns out she stayed over at Asuka's house, and because she needed to go to the bathroom, she forgot to put on her glasses and now she's lost halfway. Komura understands and there's no problem because he was awake, so Mii asks him to sing her a song. Yeah, Mii wants Komura to sing because the girls watched a horror movie and now she's really scared. Our protagonist doesn't think of it. Better idea than singing the school anthem. And Mii laughs because she didn't know any other song. Suddenly, Komura's mom wakes up and to avoid being discovered, Komura stays silent. Mii thinks he fell asleep. And to be able to hear, Komura brings the phone closer to his ear and whispers so he doesn't make too much noise, and Mii felt him too close. The protagonist's mom finally fell asleep, and he tells Mii that she can use the flashlight on her phone. The redhead finally found the bathroom, and before using it, she whispers in Komura's ear, causing him to fall off the bed. When they're about to hang up, they both lie down and wish each other good night. It's super hot, and thank goodness everyone is at the pool. Komura is worried because Mii didn't bring her glasses, and one of his classmates tells him to please play it cool. He's been staring at Mii in her swimsuit for a long time. One of the girls also warns her, and the protagonist feels embarrassed. Komura wants to tell her he didn't see anything, but why deny he did? They buy candy, and Mii gets an ice cream. The redhead throws it away, but Komura stops her, telling her she won. Mii realizes this and gives him the stick to make him happy. The redhead doesn't notice and is about to throw it away, but Komura grabs her hand and tells her that she has won a prize. Mii realizes this, and since our main guy loves to win so much, she gives him the stick so he can feel happy. Look, cat. Komura sees a cat at school and follows it to play with it. He takes her behind the gym, where he sees a girl confessing her feelings to Suma. Our main guy hides as best as he can behind a tree and stays silent so he won't be discovered. It would be easier to be a cat and just escape from there, meowing calmly. But those meows attract Mii, who wants to play with the little cat along with Komura. The protagonist is afraid that Mii will interrupt the confession, and the cat goes to look for her. The redhead keeps looking up at the sky as if cats could fly, and when she finds one, she plays with it happily. At that moment, the girl is expressing her feelings, and the noise attracts the cat. Mii goes after him to see what's happening, but Komura grabs her by the arm to hide her behind the tree. Asuma rejects the girl because he likes someone else, and Mii understands what's going on. One day, Komura will also have to confess his feelings, and when he does, I hope Mii accepts him. At school, all the classmates in the classroom are forming groups for the field trip. Komura is with his friends, but he can't stop looking at Mii. They tell him that he can join their group if he's so worried about her. When they realize it, the groups must have 6 members, so his friends will accompany him. Mii has also been looking at Komura for a while, and her friend offers her to join their group. At that moment, the main guy arrives with his friends, and Azuka invites them to join the group, something our main guy accepts right away. Mii doesn't want to force Komura to do it, but anyway, his group, he wanted to join them. When Mii asks him why, Komura tells her that he was hoping they could go on a trip together. Normally, when they go on a field trip, the redhead forgets, loses her glasses, or buys things that aren't useful, so Komura will have to keep an eye on her when Mii gets home. She looks for her spare glasses to take them in case the ones she has get lost. And at night, she can't sleep thinking about everything. Boom! What will happen with Komura the next day? Our main guy arrives late because he couldn't sleep either, but he realizes that Mii hasn't arrived yet. She's right behind him, and without her glasses since she tripped and broke them by accident while coming so fast. Luckily, she has her spare glasses, so they get on the bus, and now he just has to make sure she doesn't spend her money. Since when they went to a fair, she bought some glasses that didn't work just because they look nice. And when she opens her backpack, she realizes that the glasses she brought don't have the right prescription. Since they have to write an essay about what they see at the museum, she has to pretend that she can see, but she trips, and now he has to help her. Together they go to a part where Mii can appreciate the exhibits better, and she asks our main guy to go on and continue with his work. Komura thinks that she got upset with him, but the redhead doesn't want to be a burden. She walks around worried about the essay and realizes that she's lost. Komura manages to find her thanks to her text messages, and Mii is very sad because she can't stop bothering bothering him. For the main guy, it's no problem at all, but Mi starts to cry. It's not the first time she's forgotten her glasses and she needs to grow up because she can't depend on him all the time. Komura will always be willing to help, and to calm her down, he tells her that every day he wishes she would forget her glasses so he can help her. And that it doesn't matter what happens, he will always be there for her. Since she heard those words, Mi hasn't spoken to him, and when they return on the bus, Mi takes his hand and tells him that what he said made her very happy. And she can't believe that she's happy, even though it causes her so many problems the next day in class. Mi thinks about Komura's words. He's very kind to her and likes to help, but she still needs to learn to take care of herself. Today, she was thinking so much about that she forgot her glasses, so she's going to wear contact lenses. When Komura arrives, he apologizes for everything he said yesterday, and Mi says it's no big deal. She'll try not to forget her glasses, and for today, she'll just wear contact lenses. At lunchtime, Mi talks with her friends about the main guy, and they tell her that he just likes to help. Suddenly, Asuka gets a message from Yasaka, Komura's classmate, and she goes to respond somewhere else. This is concerning because he has a different look on his face. Asuka is in love, which obviously isn't a bad thing. But she likes him in a special way. Mi thinks a lot about that, and she doesn't understand romantic relationships. Then he takes the register to the teacher's lounge, where he runs into Komura, who greets him. And Mi gets closer to see his face clearly. At that moment, she realizes that he's nervous, but not like he usually is. He has a special expression that she has seen before. Mi runs out, wondering if Komura is really in love with her. And if that were the case, it would be wonderful. Mi arrives in class without her glasses, as usual, and Komura offers to lend her his book. The redhead is happy and gets too close to her, as always. As she leaves, Someya asks her, "How was the kiss?" Our protagonist tries to explain that they didn't kiss, and he feels uncomfortable about that statement. When Mi arrives, she notices that Komura is a bit nervous, but the protagonist tells her it's because he's sick. Mi gives him a mask from her backpack and spends almost the whole day looking at his face. Every time they are together, and the redhead looks closely at his face. Someya asks her about the kiss, even in gym class, and the protagonist tries to explain that nothing is happening. But Mi, being distracted while looking at him, trips over a ball and falls flat on her face. In the nurse's office, Komura walks with her and the redhead asks him, "What do you do on weekends?" He usually finishes his homework and then goes out to play. Unlike Mi, who can't leave the house without her parents, Komura wants to know the reason for her question. And it's just a casual conversation. Since the protagonist spent the whole day talking to Someya and didn't pay attention to her, Komura apologizes for that, and Mi has to ask him for a favor. She had been looking at him all day and realized that she should at least see him well once during class. Our protagonist, a bit embarrassed, agrees and says she can look at him as much as she wants. So the redhead springs into action. I'm sure seeing a familiar face relaxes her, because she comes over to look at him quite often. It doesn't matter. It's all for Mi's happiness. As they are finishing cleaning up, Mi's hair gets tangled in one of the lockers. The redhead doesn't care. She'll cut it. She offers to cut it. She cut it shorter, but was told it looked better longer. Anyway, like now, she offers to cut it to do the least damage. And the redhead says that she used to cut it even shorter, but they told her it looked better. The long-haired one asks if he likes her hair, and since he was so focused, he didn't hear anything. And look, she'll never know the answer since she has quite a bit of hair. The redhead tries to tie it up with a hair tie, but it falls off. Komura picks it up, and Mi offers to fix her hair. The protagonist had never done it before, but there's always a first time for everything. After a while, Komura manages to tie her hair up, and Mi is thrilled. I wish I could have it like this every day to come to school. The protagonist could fix it during the first hour, but he's not referring to that someday. Komura will be in charge of fixing her hair for eternity. The school festival is approaching, and all the students are staying after class to help. Komura is putting up some posters, and Mi has been working with newspapers. Her hands and face are dirty, so the protagonist tells her to clean up. The redhead wants to help Komura so he can rest, and she tries to help him finish faster. But she can't because she's without her glasses. The protagonist tells her that she can go help with the newspaper while he finishes this up, and Mi agrees. He asks her to find him later. She's excited but cautious. Resting together, she gets excited by his words, but she doesn't get her hopes up because he's just being nice. The rubber's run out, so when she goes to get more honey or accompanies him, they arrive at the supply room, and the redhead closes the door with both of them inside. She doesn't want to turn on the lights so that no one else can see them, and she wants to look at his face up close. He tries to escape, but it's useless, so he lets them watch him up close. He's nervous and doesn't realize it, but Mi has dirty hands from the newspaper she picked up. When they return to the classroom, home, Asuma tells our protagonist to clean his face. And Mii's friends notice that they also have dirty hands. The school festival is approaching, and Komura's mother suggests that he wear an earring to have a different style. The protagonist rejects it, and it's because those accessories are for more outgoing people. Oh, beautiful, someone like me who was on the floor looking for something. An earring, or that's what our protagonist thinks. I forgot her book again. So they have to share it, and now he imagines what life would be like with a me who has earrings. When she tries to ask me something about the book, it's clear that our protagonist is really embarrassed in art class. She shows her earring to Komura and tells him that she'll actually use it for her eyes. Well, the eyes of the doll that he will prepare for the festival, the protagonist thought about just making a pincushion while holding the needle. Our redhead confesses that she would like to wear earrings, but she's scared of getting her ears pierced. She mentions that her mother also suggested she wear them, although she's not sure if they would look good on her. Suddenly, Mii approaches him, and using her earring, she tries to see if the earrings would suit him, but she fails because she can't see anything. Still, she tells him that there's a chance he would look good, and he protests so convincingly that he could buy some earrings just for her. The preparations in the gym continue, and all the students stay late. Normally, Mii's parents don't let her stay out past 6, and if she doesn't listen, they would scold her, and she would be without her morning cocoa. But since there's still a lot of work to do, Asuka asks who is willing to stay until 7. Some classmates agree to stay along with our main character, and Someya approaches him to ask if he has already kissed Mii, the redhead. Seeing this, she will stay a little longer to help, and Komura thinks she's staying just for him. Then she goes back to normal. Someya leaves them alone, and together they name all the exhibits. It's almost 6 and Mii is pretty nervous. It's the first time she stayed out this late. Komura doesn't know whether to tell her to go back home, and while he was drinking water, he finds Mii's phone on the floor. It has quite a few missed calls, and when Mii looks for it, the main character can only hide in the curtains. Mii finds her phone, says goodbye to everyone, and runs out to get home. Komura runs after her and finds her at the door trying to find her locker. Komura doesn't want to bother her, but Mii runs out of time and decides to leave with her gym shoes. Our main character finds her shoes and takes them to return them to her. The first time they saw each other, she got confused because their shoes are practically identical. Komura follows her, but Mii is too sad and goes back home. Komura says he might as well return them tomorrow. And at Mii's house, her mother scolds her for coming home so late. Mii just apologizes, but at that moment, Komura knocks on her door and hands her back her shoes. She tells her mother that she took them by mistake, and that's why she got home late. Then she apologizes, and apparently her mother believed the lie since she is very nervous about what she did and thinks that Mii's mother is quite attractive. The next day, she arrives early with her glasses. Apparently, she almost forgot them because she always takes them off when she has her cocoa in the morning. Komura is happy that he didn't cause her any trouble and that he didn't come off as a weirdo in the process. Then everyone writes a report on how their week went, and Mii shares that she broke curfew by staying at the gym. Her mother was going to take away her cocoa, but her father gave her permission to. What a great guy! At the festival, Komura sees Mii's doll, which looks more like a cushion, and he realizes that Mii was also looking at his work. Although it makes her a bit shy because it's just a bowl of yarn. When the main show starts, Mii leaves the gym and Komura follows her. The redhead is just there to sunbathe, and they sit together to chat. Mii read Komura's reports and vice versa. And when the redhead tries to look at his face, the main character gets scared because he thinks someone might see them. Still, Mii wants to see him, even if she has her rules about it, to see the face of our main character. The calmness is like he's her father. In fact, that's why when she's with him, she always tries to break the rules. Mii tells him that she won't see his face anymore, but Komura takes her by the face and says that there's no problem. Then they get off to head back to the festival. And if they find them, it's no problem as long as they're together. The festival was a success, and now our main character has to make a decision. What's he gonna do with his life? Mii asks him, "What's your dream?" And he tells her that it's a secret, obviously to hide the fact that he has no aspirations in life. Mii wants to share hers and shows him that in her kindergarten yearbook she wrote that she wanted to marry her dad, and underneath that there's a photo from a time they went to the beach. Mii won't show it to him again, and Komura asks her, "What are your dreams?" Now, maybe travel the world or study engineering, but no, Mii has absolutely nothing. In fact, when she grows up, she wants to get married and be a housewife. That's why she's practicing cooking or Morris, and she shows him a picture of a dish that our main character made. He can't help but ask, "What did you draw with the ketchup?" Since it looks like a hand, Mii very embarrassed, tells him that he was right. It's a hand at home. Komura looks for his kindergarten yearbook and realizes that when he was little, he wanted to be an office worker, a profession that's too common and boring in Japan. Did he never have any real dreams? His mother calls him for dinner and made muras when he draws with the ketchup. He tries to replicate what Mi did, but he still doesn't know what it is. In fact, it would be better if Mi were the one to do it. Someday, he would like to try Mi's omurisi and have her sitting next to him to eat it together. Maybe that's his dream. The next day, he writes in the survey that he wants to be Mi's husband. Obviously, he's just messing around and is going to delete it, but he doesn't realize that the redhead has arrived. And when he sees what he wrote, only the word husband remains. And when she asks him who he wants to marry, Komura still hasn't decided. So Mi puts a grumpy face in the cooking workshop. Mi is preparing dough for cookies and her partner is Asuma. Meanwhile, Komura is far away with another classmate. The redhead is trying to make coins and Azuka suggests that she draw lines so that Komura will like them more. Mi is surprised because he hadn't told her that they were for him. And Komura is very jealous because he can't hear what they're saying and it looks like they're really comfortable. One of Komura's friends tells him that it's not a good idea to give her coins because the arcade vending machine is broken. And he couldn't get any. Normally, Komura goes to the arcade a lot because it relaxes him and he plays the claw game to get candy and give it to his mother. Even though the machine is fixed now and it doesn't matter if he gives her coins, just unnecessary conversation, Komura thought his best friend was betraying him too, but he gets back to what he was doing. Mi sees that Asuma is making birds, therefore a girl he likes who is in college and has no interest in him. Still, he plans to confess his feelings and they continue making cookies. After that class, Asuma and Mi became closer. Still, he will confess his feelings and they keep making cookies. After that class, Asuma and Mi became closer. Our guy feels jealous and leaves to avoid bothering Mi. Mi runs after him, takes his hand and he buys her water. She came to give him homemade cookies, though slow. Komura reassures her, vowing to slow down for her. She's really tired because she ran over, and Komura buys her a water to help her recover. Mi came all the way here to give him the cookies she made for him, and even though she's a bit slow, she wanted to give them to him. Anyway, Komura tells her that it's not like that, and from that moment on, he'll go slower so Mi can catch up to him. At home, while watching a commercial, Komura remembers the picture of little Mi, so he looks for it in his photo album to see how she looked. When I was that age, I had black hair and my nose was bleeding because I fell off the bars. The next day in class, he accidentally brought the photo and his classmate took it away so everyone could see it. Mi didn't bring her glasses and doesn't even realize that Komura isn't a natural blonde. And she gets so close to the photo that she accidentally kisses it, turning him into a boy from the era in the most treasured moment for Komura. When classes are over, he wants to walk me home and they stop at the park. The redhead is going to get her glasses and tells our guy to wait by the bars. When she comes back, she asks him to show her the photo he brought, but the guy had kept it on his desk to protect her and he stayed at school. Since she can't see the photo, she asks him if she can climb the bars. Though he failed twice, Komura prays for strength and succeeds on the third attempt. Mi snaps a photo and a private selfie. She asks him to hold her glasses to try climbing too, forgetting her skirt. She ends up airborne, but with shorts underneath. Komura reassures her nothing was seen, her nosebleed. For the two of them, then she asks him to hold her glasses since she wants to try too. She forgets she's wearing a skirt and ends up flying through the air. With the shorts she had underneath, Komura tells her to relax, that nothing was seen, and then her nose starts to bleed. It's something Mi can't explain. This time Mi did bring her glasses, but she still can't see. They're a pair of unprescribed glasses she bought because they look nice. The redhead tells Komura to put them on to see how they look on him. They're the glasses he was wearing just a second ago, and he doesn't hesitate to put them on since he can't see. Mi tells him to take a selfie and send it to her, and Komura agrees, but he'll do it at home. When the redhead looks for the case to give it to him, she realizes that she did bring her glasses and looks pretty happy with how they fit her while they're in class. Komura can't help but look. Mi's hair is really soft and smells great, especially when she's really close. When recess is over, Toyama stays with Mi and gives her a really nice hairstyle. Komura can't help but watch her in class and at the pool, where Mi doesn't want to mess up her hairstyle with the swim cap, but still she puts it on. While they're having lunch, Komura notices that her hairstyle is a bit messy and there's a grain of rice in her hair. When she lets him know, the only thing the redhead does is mess up her whole hairstyle when classes start again. Her hair is still wet and it gets Komura's book wet. Mi says she's going to tie her hair up and Komura is happy. She should wait for Toyama to come back, but Mi wants to tie it up by herself. Still, she looks for Toyama and has her pretty hairstyle back. Maybe, just maybe, she noticed that Komura was looking at her on the way home. It's a short trip because Mi lives very close to the school. Our protagonist goes home, but he hears that Mi is with a guy. He doesn't recognize him and thinks that Mi will get close like she does with him to see his face better. It seems like it's someone from her elementary school, and since she has nothing to do there, she just leaves. The next day, Mi forgot her glasses, and this time it's worse because she doesn't remember where she left them. Komura thinks she's worried because of that, but in reality, she's even more worried because she ran into a guy yesterday. She knew his name, but she couldn't remember his face. That's because back then, she also used to forget her glasses. But in reality, she's even more worried because yesterday she ran into a guy. She knew his name, but she couldn't remember his face. That's because back then she also used to forget her glasses. And our protagonist, he's sad because most of the moments he spent with her were without his glasses. And that means that someday when they part ways, he won't remember her face. But still, they have to study because exams are coming up. Mi worries exams will limit their time. Komura reminds her about her glasses. And Mi is worried about the exams since they'll have to study during the break and won't be able to see each other as much. Komura tells her not to forget her glasses, and Mi promises she won't, because if she doesn't, she might forget his face. Before the exams, Mi did bring her glasses. She remembered that she had left them in a clothing store and also thought about her classmate, since when they were in class, that guy used to tease her for not bringing her glasses, something very different from what Komura does. The exams end and our lovebirds head home together. Very different from what Komura does. The exams are over and our lovebirds head home together. They make a stop at the park where Mi wants to swing on the bars, but it's not a good idea because she's not wearing shorts. They can't go on the swings either, so they get on together. They're too close to the slide and Mi, after a long time, wants to see his face. This time she tells Komura to hold her face and it's a magical moment for both of them. Mi gives Komura a photo. He feels she'll remember their time. Mi asks him not to forget her. Komura feels more at ease because even though she doesn't have her glasses, she'll remember everything they experienced together. It's going to be a sad goodbye since they won't see each other until after the break, and Mi asks him not to forget her. She heads home, but Komura takes her by the hand, and she tells him that she wants to see him the day after tomorrow, or any day during the break because she wants to see his little face. Mi smiles, and this isn't the first time they've met. A long time ago, when Komura had black hair, he ran into little Mi without her glasses. That she wanted to buy an ice cream, Komura helped her, but he was surprised because he couldn't see anything. Mi tells him that one of her classmates stole her glasses, the same jerk we saw a little while ago. Her father told her it was because the guy wanted to marry her. It seems that Komura understands this too, but if Mi has to marry someone, it would be better if it were Komura, because he's a good guy. It seems that Komura understands this too, but if Mi has to marry someone, it would be better if it were Komura because he's a good guy. With her, little Mi goes home, and the present day Mi also says goodbye. The end.